He died with his boots on. Most people believe the phrase originated in the American Cowboy days to indicate someone who died on his feet, usually in a gun battle. However, the phrase is actually much older than that. Supposedly, the Duke of Wellington, leader of the army that defeated Napoleon at Waterloo, had servants put his boots on as he was dying in 1852 to symbolize his readiness to serve to the end. Other earlier usages touch on the violent aspect, as it was used of people who were hanged. And in a slightly different form, it was used by Shakespeare in Macbeth to refer to dying in harness, which at the time referred to a soldier's armor. But of course, the idea preceded Shakespeare by at least 2,500 years, with an event recorded in 853 BC when Ahab was king of Israel. Previously, we noted how Ahab listened to the false prophets, the yes men, who said he would win the battle against Syria, despite hearing God's prophet reveal how Israel was going to lose and Ahab was going to die. Ahab had enough sense to believe the prophet was from God, but not enough to obey. People are no different today. Instead of calling off the battle, he thought he could get around God's word by going into battle dressed as a common soldier. 1 Kings 22 verses 29 and 30, and 2 Chronicles 18 verses 28 and 29. Of course, it failed to save him because, just like in the rest of his life, he did what he wanted in defiance of God's will, but could not defeat God. During the battle, Ahab was struck by a random arrow and died. However, to his credit, he died with his boots on because he braced himself up in his chariot and kept leading his army until the end of the day. 1 Kings 22 verses 34 through 36 and 2 Chronicles 18 verses 33 and 34. But despite his strong will, Ahab still died and Israel lost the battle. In the same way, there are two ways we can die with our boots on: fighting for God or against God. One way leads to victory over sin and entrance into eternity with God. The other leads to failure and defeat and eternity alone, separated from God. Every day provides an opportunity to choose: defiance or submission, obedience or disobedience. By the way, make sure you don't choose disobedience and redefine it as faithful obedience. Many will try, but like Ahab, all will fail. The choice is yours. Which will it be? Thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny, hoping you have a great day.